is a sunny and hot day here in Hawaii, and we are expecting a hurricane, which is normal. But supposedly it's not going to be so traumatic. And that's what I wanted to talk about today is trauma dumping. If you've ever gone through a traumatic divorce, a toxic relationship, um, whether it's work or home, parental problems, blah, 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 any type of traumatic event, chances are you trauma dumped on other people who were available to listen without their permission. And I did it too. And so now today I'm mindful. I'm not perfect about it, but I am more mindful of what I want to share with people before I do it. So what you can do is if you've gone through some really traumatic incidents, and this trauma can last forever, especially if you're CPTSD from childhood neglect and abuse, or PTSD from adult incidences that you've had, accidents, whatever. All of that can bring PTSD. So what we want to do is empower our minds, change our mindsets, and think in a more mindful way to where we're not causing more damage and more impact on the people on the other end. I experienced this also with a former friend where it was just constant over, and I felt unable to say stop. I need space. I wasn't strong enough then. I was dealing with codependence and still trying to people please people. And so, but today, I don't do that. So I asked, could you please stop sharing your story? I've heard it over and over again. And every time you share it, it brings back traumatic events and flashbacks from what I experienced. Because what these people do is they don't, most of the time they don't mean to. I'm going to say most of the time. Consider my feelings and ask me how my day was. So those are the few things that you can do without being a witch or mean. You can say it kindly because you probably do love these people and they're hurting. And the one thing you don't want to do, a lot of people do it. You don't want to respond and comment and say, whoa, I'm not a therapist. You need to see a therapist. No, don't do that. Don't even suggest that. Don't say it. What you can say is, again, I'm not emotionally available or capable to handle that right now because of what I've gone through and it's affecting me. It's got a negative impact on me. Maybe you could, talk to someone else who may be going through the same thing that you are, who can have some solutions for you. And you can say it that way. Because what you don't want to do is invalidate them. You don't want them to feel gaslit, and you don't want them to feel hurt because they're already coming from a hurt place and they trust you. So because they trust you, you want to tell them in a gentle way. If they are not respecting those boundaries, then you can say, maybe, when you can work through this a little bit more with someone else that you can trust who's more capable of handling this, maybe we can get back together and chat about the solutions that you came up with. But right now, it's just too emotionally charged for me to intake. And I'm sorry to say that, and I love you, but it's just affecting me in a negative way. So, yes, be mindful of how you respond, but stick to your boundaries and make sure your boundaries are flexible, firm, and full of compassion. So I'll talk to you next time. Aloha.